Your move.
What is going on, you guys? Bastion YG here, and I know I look like I'm about to go to like some Zoom interview, but anyway, I just got home from work. I just wanted to go ahead and get this deck profile out the way for you guys. I had everything ready last night. Things happened, wasn't able to get it, but I want to make sure I get this out to you guys as soon as possible. So today, guys, I'm coming at you with my bird up deck profile for the February 2022 ban list. Now, essentially with the ban list, we had some horrendous, if I do say so myself, hits to the to the Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade deck. Now, a lot of people do believe that this deck is just officially dead. However, I do not believe that is the case. I believe this deck is still very resilient. It's not going to be as oppressive at board as you can make before with Barrier Statue or having that Omnigate like Apex Avian, but there's other ways you can go ahead and take this deck to still make it very, very competitive, and I still believe it's tier 1.5, tier 1 deck at the very worst. So without further ado, guys, go ahead and get right into it. Before we do though, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe, like, comment down below what you guys think about the bird up deck. Is something that you're going to be playing yourselves. It is going to still be a very, very budget deck overall, I want to say. I'd rather have to go ahead and spice things up, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Now let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so I have here my extra deck and main deck ready to go for this deck. Let's go ahead and get it started with the monsters. So to start things off, you play still the triple Fractal, triple Nerval, the 1 Kit, and the 1 Karas. It's going to be your standard main engine still for the deck. There's no real way that I want to go ahead and switch this. I still believe you are able to pretty much follow this a very, very similar line of play still, so I do not believe you need to change this at the current moment. This may change down the line, but it is something that I do want to go ahead and stick to as far as the main core of the deck, for at least the Tri-Brigade core. Next, for the Lyrilusc, we're still going to play the triple Warbler, triple Cobalt Sparrow, triple Barrel Canary, double Swallow, and 1 Wagtail. I didn't want to max out on the 3rd Swallow, just because we are going to only be able to play with 1 Desires. I actually took out Desires completely from this deck. I just feel like it's better to play more high impact cards currently, now that it's just at 1. Normally it's a card you definitely want to see in your opening hand, because if you don't see it, it's definitely not a card you want to see down the road or late or mid to late game. Essentially by then you will have already searched through your entire deck, and it's going to leave you very few resources left in your deck, so I do not think that's the correct way to go. I may be wrong, but only time will tell. So I still want to go ahead and max out on the, of course, the Cobalt Sparrow and the Turquoise Warbler, just because it is still going to be your main combo for the deck. If you draw these two or a way to get to these two, you are still good to go for your plays moving forward. Now with Barrel Canary, again, it's a fantastic extender, and you're going to be relying on this a lot more instead of the Sapphire Swallow, now that we don't have the second Rustal Starling. So if your negate gets with Cobalt Sparrow gets Ash or something like that, you can still go Rectal Starling, Recital Starling, and search your Barrel Canary. That way you still get your second XCs to go into Draco Future, if that's the route you want to go. But like I'm going to show, there are different ways to go about this this deck. For the hand traps, guys, still keep it very, very simple. Triple Ash Blossom, triple Nibiru, and I decided to go ahead and keep the 1 DD Crow just because I believe it is still a fantastic card to play in general, and because you are able to search it in the event that you have further extenders in your hand. You are still able to go ahead and search the DD Crow with Cobalt Sparrow, Recital Starling, things like that. So I think still a fantastic card to go ahead and play. I've never I did some testing with this card taking out of the deck, and I've really missed it, honestly. So any deck that I can use that I can actually search a high-powered card like this, I definitely want to go ahead and play it, especially now that Eldritch is going to be one of the top decks in the current format. I would definitely recommend not cutting the DD Crow, because essentially once Eldritch the Golden Lord gets sent to the graveyard, you just hit it with the DD Crow and get rid of it. And that's actually how I won a few of my games in Master Duel against Eldritch. I would just summon Omen when they have the Golden Lord on board and banish our Golden Lord. But of course I only run 2 Omens, so then this gets rid of the third one overall. So 1, 2, 3, you should be good to go from there. Now time for the spell, guys. So as far as spells go, still very simple. You still gonna keep Bird Call. So this is the main reason why I believe this deck is still absolutely ridiculous. I mean, any card that says search a card, special summon, or send it to the graveyard, and special summon I should say, is just absolutely nuts. I think the Lyrilusc deck by itself might still be very relevant as well. But Bird Call is a fantastic card, and I think just mixed with the Tri-Brigade just gives it an extra little oomph. Lets you go ahead and get cards like Appaloosa, like Tri-Brigade Revolt on the board. Very easy to go ahead and back up your Xyz monsters. So definitely triple Bird Call. So the card that I replaced as well, part of Desires with, was triple Tactics Talents. So with Desires going to 1, essentially I wanted to still play a card that was able to potentially still draw me 2 cards, so I don't lose out on that consistency. But on top of that, I am also able to look at my opponent's hand, or I'm able to, you know, take one of my opponent's monsters. It still is a very high impact card. I don't understand why people aren't playing this. I'm seeing it cut out of a lot of decks. I think personally it's still a fantastic card. And with a lot of decks going to be moving in the future, I think the hand trap count is going to be going up quite a bit. Actually, especially if they're gonna go ahead and do their Brave Token combo. If they go first, that's perfectly fine. Let them do Brave Token, you combo, you go ahead and bait out the negate, and then you just go ahead and activate triple Tactics, look at their hand, or take one of their monsters, then you just carry on with your Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade plays. And this is going to be a must in this current format as well. Then to wrap up these spells, you play your 1 Tenki, your 1 for 1, and then your 1 Called by the Grave. I thought about playing Crossout Designator in this deck, but it's essentially I don't believe it's really as necessary as you would like it. Because it would also be really useful in, say, like the mirror match, things like that. However, I do believe just 1 Called by the Grave is good to go as far as that goes. So the Called by the Grave, you get to hit cards like Ash, DD Crow, Droll and Lockbird, things like that. Can't hit Nibiru, unfortunately, but it is what it is as far as that card goes. And I believe just playing Brave Token in this would just really feel a little cloggy. So I decided to just, you know, not go that route. So still 1 Tenki, 1 for 1, and 1 Called by the Grave. Next up for the traps, guys, we got 3 Infinite Impermanence. Still a ridiculous card overall. It's won me so many games just by being able to negate not just the monster but the spell and trap card zone as well. It's just been absolutely ridiculous. Also, this is also going to be fantastic when you're going up against cards like Floodgate. So especially against Eldritch is going to be absolutely ridiculous. So when they have the skill drain on their side of the board, just go ahead and flip this in their column, and that way skill drain is negated. So let's go ahead and play around that as well, so you don't have to play cards like Twin Twister or Cosmic Cyclone either. However, those cards can go in the side deck. And for the last card in the deck, we play 1 Tri-Brigade Revolt. This is pretty much what's going to be replacing the Apex Avion as well. So you don't have a negate, but you have a banish essentially. So instead of having a negate, you have a trap card that turns into a Shurag, which is not only a banish, but it's also a search once it gets into the graveyard. So it's absolutely ridiculous. I think this is definitely going to be the correct route to go. There's no real reason to play Oath anymore, I personally believe. So definitely go ahead, play 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Revolt, and that's going to be it for the main deck. For the extra deck, guys, I want to just go ahead and point out there's 1 card I'm still deciding on here and there, but this is what I got so far. So 1 Ensemble Robin, you know, still fantastic card. Definitely want to go ahead and play that, of course. You want to play your 1 Recital Starling, Rip Recital Starling. Unfortunately, it is going to be at 1. However, I did go ahead and replace it with a 2nd copy of Assemble Nightingale. So what this is going to allow you to do is you need a 2nd one essentially. So the first one you can go ahead and use to go into your F-Zero, and then the 2nd one you can use to make into Zeus. So it has 2 applications. It's I do of course miss Recital Starling in the extra deck, the 2nd one I should say, but this is going to be okay for now. Again, it still gives you 2 forms of play, whether you want to go into the the Draco Future play, or you want to go more the Zeus route. You still have 2 different options. You can actually summon both still in the same game with no problem at all, still with great ease. Of course, the Draco package and the 1 AA Zeus is still pretty standard for the most part. The only thing I took out was of course the 1 Recital Starling for the 1 Nightingale. Again, still gives you the option to summon Big Boy Zeus and Big Boy Utopic Draco Future as well. That's going to be it for the XCs, guys. Now for the links. For the links, we do play Tri-Brigade Revolt, so we're going to play one Bearbrum. I played 2 Ferjit. I played 2 Omen, 1 Almirage, 1 Ancient Warrior, and 1 Appaloosa. So the second Fergie is the one that I am going back and forth about whether I should play Downer Magician or I should play the second Fergie. I've missed both equally, I want to say, so I want to leave it up to you guys as far as which ones you want to play, whether you want to play the second Fergie or you want to play Downer Magician. I would not argue with you either way. For myself, I want to be able to still have a little bit more of a grind game. So I want to be able to at least have that second Fergie in my deck in the event something would, in my extra deck I should say, in the event something would happen. So that's going to be it for the deck profile, guys. I do want to go ahead and show you guys the side deck though for this. So when it comes to the side deck, I play triple Droll, triple Dark Ruler No More, triple Twin Twister, triple D Barrier, and the 1 red Reboot. So essentially I am going to be making some changes to this, but if you want a good standard side deck list of what it could look like, that's definitely going to be the case. So D Barrier essentially is for going up against a lot of so against BA, I can call XCs. It does shut off my Xyz, but I play with links as well, so it's very situational. It works against Sword Soul very, very well. You just call Synchro and it pretty much shuts off their turn. Yeah, they have the 10Es, but it's not really like high impact, whereas Synchros pretty much just shuts off all their big plays. Joel and Lockbird is a really, really good card, don't get me wrong. However, I am probably going to be switching this out for Denko Sekka when they come in the mail. So that's something I definitely want to go ahead and look into. There are, again, 2 other spots missing that I do want to go ahead and get 2 more DD Crows in here. In the event that I do play in the Eldritch match, I do want to have DD Crows in the side deck, I should say, so that I can go ahead and combat that in its own way. And that's going to be it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. I honestly believe Bird Up is still a very, very good deck. I do not believe it's dead. Don't get me wrong, when I saw the ban list and I saw some Morg to 1, I was definitely a little hurt by that. However, the deck is still very, very playable. I honestly believe it's still going to be one of the top decks in this current format, and it's up to us to really prove it, guys. So let me know what you guys think. Again, in the comment section down below, leave a like if you guys did enjoy, smash the like button for more videos, and I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one.